This is Captain Jack, and here are 5 more great NES homebrew games. Minekart Madness is reminiscent of early, more arcadey NES titles with a great game-changing mechanic. With only the ability to slow down and jump, you'll have to think ahead and time your movements in order to collect all the gems to clear the level. Things start out fairly simple, but soon you'll be jumping down pits at the right angle and finding your way around multiple hazards at the same time. The game has about 5 or so levels that loop back around until the 2.5 minute timer runs out. At that point, the game gives you your high score. So you're going to want to clear the levels as fast as possible. If you want a really high score, the orange gems are essential. They're a little bit harder to grab and not necessary to complete the level, but they give 5 times the amount a normal gem gives. Minecart Madness is my favorite type of concept game. Fresh new gameplay that doesn't overstay its welcome. Perhaps the most complex game on this list is Black Box Challenge. It's an RPG with a very meta premise. The name and core gimmick is based off the original run of Nintendo-published NES games released from 1986 to 1987. There were 30 in all, and they were the only games for the NES in the North American market for that first year. And of course, they all came in black boxes. So in Black Box Challenge, you'll travel the world in search of these 30 games, which unlock new abilities, attacks, and persistent effects. The best part about the game, though, is unlocking these powers. Once you get a new Black Box game, you don't instantly get the upgraded holds. No, you have to go home and play a miniaturized version of that game and win. As for the game's world, it's very self-aware with Earthbound-esque enemies. There's reviewers that shoot dislikes at you, collectors, hoarders, every unsavory character you would apparently run into while trying to collect NES games. The combat system itself is also pretty unique too. Everything is real time, and all the actions cost a set amount of stamina. So the fights are mostly about timing your blocks right while waiting for enough stamina to build up to go on the offense. You'll get very good at this loop, as there's quite a bit of grinding. Black Box Challenge is a wonderfully original RPG for the system. Spooky Soccer is a little soccer game with a fun twist. You see, you don't actually control any of the players, instead you control a ghost, a little reticle on screen that can influence the game. You can hold A to lightly pull the ball around, or use one of the 4 power-ups to gain an advantage. The music box puts everyone close to you asleep and out of the game for a short time. Scare forces the player with the ball to shoot in the opposite direction of you. Promotion gives the player you used it on boosted stats. And TNT just takes them out of the game about as long as the music box. The core gameplay is a tug-of-war between you and the CPU as you try to tilt the game in your favor. There's a 2-player versus mode and even a 4-player versus mode, which means theoretically you could have 4 people playing against each other, which just sounds crazy. It's a cute little idea, and it's a lot more fun than you'd think. Check it out. Battle Kid 2: The Mountain of Torment is a follow-up to the original Battle Kid featured in another one of my videos. And it's more of the same great Battle Kid gameplay, with new enemies, powers, and areas to explore. The Battle Kid games at first glance look like Mega Man parodies, but there are a few key differences. There aren't any side-scrolling levels. Instead, the game takes place in one giant map with several connected individual rooms. And most importantly, a single hit kills you. This makes Battle Kid a slower-paced game. Instead of blasting away at enemies willy-nilly, you'll be trying to get through one tricky room at a time. It's definitely difficult, but man, it's a rewarding cycle. Battle Kid 2 has much more intricate cutscenes than its predecessor, and they look great, while not being too frequent to be annoying. And they build on a story that's more complex than the first game. Battle Kid 2 nails the perfect middle ground between new and old, and it's a great time. Raven's Gate is an action-adventure game and is by far one of the prettiest looking and sounding homebrew games I've seen so far. The music is all top-notch, and the always black background makes everything pop out more, and serves as a 4th color for many of the sprites. Not to mention the numerous graphical flourishes, from the falling snow to the little footstep poofs. Everything looks amazing. You'll travel through 4 biomes as you complete quests for random people, but it's really the journey that makes everything worthwhile. You'll trudge through a colorful, ghastly world with plenty of vibrant enemies to slash away at, until you get to the ending, which... yeah, there's no boss, the game just kinda ends. Now this game is particularly new, being released less than a month ago, so I hope there's more to come. But even in its present state, Raven's Gate is a 20-minute first-rate great. Sorry for that. It already started to rhyme. I just had to...